Do I believe that the comeback when it comes to XCN could very well be legendary? I think so, even though that's not financial advice. But as this burn progresses, I really do believe that the narrative when it comes to XCN is going to become stronger and stronger, all the way up to the price of $1, again, hypothetically speaking. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, Onyx really isn't doing much. Yes, we all know that they're planning to launch the mainnet when it comes to Goliath, this allegedly very amazing layer 1 blockchain. They're planning that for next year. Again, the mainnet launch in Q1 of 2026. We all know that. But then also, sometimes people forget the fact that the testnet, right? Again, kind of like the testing phase, so to speak, a lot of people refer to as, that's planned to happen this year. Now, when specifically, we take a look at in Q3 of 2025, it is planned, again, the time for the test network deployment. Now, people may be thinking, okay, why does it matter, man? The bull run's over. Well, here's the thing. This timeline, in a sense, kind of somewhat fits in line, give or take, with what we've seen, historically speaking, as a worst case when altcoins usually peak. Now, what do I mean by this? We do know that altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. The last Bitcoin halving event happened in April of last year, so 18 months from then is actually around October this year. Now, again, if we take a look at this date, they're planning to launch the testnet in Q3 of, again, 2025. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be exactly, like they don't see an exact date, you know what I mean? However, the way you take a look at it is that it's a little bit give or take, because when I take a look at this historical data as a worst case when altcoins usually peak, this is not, going to be a set date either. It could happen earlier or later. We just never know. But then again, the way you take a look at it is that imagine, right, once the bull run is in fifth gear and then they launch the testnet, it doesn't have to be the mainnet, right? Just the testnet, that could already be enough, because keep in mind, XCN did what we saw not too long ago without stuff like this. So imagine once the testnet is live, let's say, right? Once they actually do it, they test it out. And again, it may be good, it may be bad, whatever the case may be, but still, even despite that, the news alone could just be this major catalyst, especially once the market is already euphoric, especially once the market picks up again, once the market is in fully fifth gear, once XRP picks up again, once XLM picks up again. The reason why that matters is because XCN, it's really just going to have to depend on them in terms of the hype, in my opinion. Why? Because XCN is basically like XLM or XRP, but then just a way lower market cap and, way less adoption and way less fans. But it doesn't really matter, because it's kind of like the up and coming thing. It's going to matter what happens to XRP and XLM. I think they're going to do good. And again, imagine once the hype for XRP and XLM is in really fifth gear, once the bull is in fifth gear, let's say Bitcoin goes back to the price of 100,000, 150,000, let's say it goes to that price, right? Makes a new all-time high, goes to 200,000, let's say 250,000. Really the sky's the limit when it comes to something like XCN. So I don't think that when it comes to XCN, it's over. The legendary comeback, I think, could hypothetically be in the horizon, because keep in mind, XCN has dropped so much in price to the point that $1 is currently around an 80x from here. Now, if I said this like not too long ago, everyone was saying $1 was kind of bearish. They were saying, okay, it's impossible. They were saying that, okay, it's going to go to $5, $3, wherever the case may be. But still, as of right now, the same people who are saying that, at least from what I've seen, my friends, right, they changed their tune. They're like, oh yeah, XCN can't even go to the price of 10 cents, all this type of stuff. So really, if you take a look at it, sentiments can change very quickly. As soon as it became a little bit like, not that pleasant, when the price of XCN did go down along with Bitcoin and of course the whole space overall, generally speaking, as soon as that did change, I think it's going to be equally as fast in the opposite direction once things do pick up again. Because keep in mind, when Bitcoin started going down, after the bull run in 2021, everyone was saying, oh, Bitcoin's going to go back to the price of $5,000, $2,000. But really, once Bitcoin picked up again, the sentiment changed completely. And we're seeing that happen in the opposite direction as of right now. But really, that's how the market works sometimes in terms of the sentiment I've seen, right? Once, things are pumping, a lot of people FOMO in. When things are dumping, a lot of people panic sell, at least some of my friends. The way you take a look at it isn't kind of the goal acquiring when things are low and waiting for it to go, to a much higher point. At least that's the way you take a look at it, right? Some people, they're kind of the opposite. They want to acquire when things are at the high and then they dump when things are low. that's just not my mentality. I don't do that. And I just have a hard time believing that the most recent top when it comes to XCN and also a bunch of other altcoins and also Bitcoin is the peak. I highly doubt that. I mean, when there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, I don't think that is, the peak, at least yet, right? That's why I'm still staying patient. And XCN at the price of $1, keep in mind, if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $32.5 billion. This isn't too bad, really. I mean, people may think that this is kind of impossible as of right now, but really, once Bitcoin picks up again, once XRP and XLM really gains its momentum again, and maybe in a much better way even, right? I would anticipate so because I think this sport is still far from over. I don't think this is too difficult to achieve. Even XRP, as of right now, has a market cap that is over $100 billion more than this. I am not saying that XCN is ever going to defeat XLM or XRP in the long term. I'm not saying that. But what I do believe is that XCN could play this vital role. And that role is potentially becoming, kind of like the number 3 go-to project within this space. It has the potential to maybe become that. Currently, that number 3 space, or number 3 slot, I would say, is being held by XDC. But it's kind of give or take, really, because if you take a look at it, XCN has the momentum on its side, in my opinion. Now, it's not really showcasing that. Currently, of course, the market's going down, but maybe it could do that. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very bullish on XDC, but there could be this competition for who's going to be number 3. Now, even if, let's say, XCN doesn't get the number 3 spot, let's say it becomes number 4, still all good. The payments market is valued at over $2 trillion currently. The global trade and finance market is predicted to reach up to $5 trillion in value by 2028, according to Mordor Intelligence. So becoming top 5, let's say, right, in those sectors is not a bad thing. Really, I don't think it's bad. Now, again, XCN has the opportunity to become top 3, but it really hasn't had the chance to really spread its wings yet because, of course, now there's a pullback. But you know what? When there's a pullback, I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing, which is dollar cost averaging, anytime on income, acquiring, holding, and just waiting because I don't give up. Now, people may think it's kind of a bad idea, but I made it this far. I'm not going to quit right now. I'm going to wait and see. Quite essentially, people like to say, oh, you never know what's going to happen in the future. Yeah, of course, I don't have a magic crystal ball to tell the future. But I've seen where the market is heading. I've seen the trajectory of projects like XRP and XLM. And I feel like it's only natural that some of the hype is going to trickle down to other projects in the same area or in the same sector, I would say, much like XCN, especially during a fully fledged bull run. So I don't think that this bull run is over, really. I think better days are ahead. If I believe that XRP and XLM is going to do well in the future, which I do, of course, I'm naturally also going to believe in something like XCN. It's like someone saying that, hey, Bitcoin's going to do good, but you know what? Ethereum's going to go to the price of $100. That doesn't make any sense because, of course, if Bitcoin does do good, I'm not saying Ethereum's going to defeat Bitcoin or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that it's also going to gain some momentum as well, right? It's like usually when Bitcoin does well, a lot of these altcoins do good. So if XRP and XLM starts picking up again, especially as the crypto space overall starts going back up again, XCN really is going to be something that's going to go along with the ride, theoretically at least. And I think in these next 1 or 2 months, it's a no-brainer for me, man. I'm going to still dollar cost average. I'm not going to give up like that. I still believe in XCN, and at the price of $1 during this bull run, man, I can't wait for its legendary comeback. However, only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see, but that wouldn't shock me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.